Jeffrey with Craig's Realtors, both in Taylorville.
WTIM.
Welcome into the WTIM Morning Show here on your information station. It's the WTIM Pana Morning Show with Pana civic, business, and nonprofit leaders coming to you from our Taylorville studios. The WTIM Pana Morning Show is brought to you by our title sponsors and People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, along with Pizza Man, Noren's Hardware, your Pana Save-A-Lot, and Locked and Loaded Limited. I'm your host, Grayson Bauman, and our guest in this segment is Jessica Miller. Jessica is the superintendent for Pana CUSD number 8. Good morning to you, Jessica. How are you doing?
Oh, good morning. Thank you for having me this morning. I'm doing well.
Great to have you, and great to talk a little bit about what's going on with the school district down in Pana and kind of highlight some of the things that are going on. I know that we talked a little bit before we got our start today and got some ideas for what we wanted to discuss. And first on the docket was preparing for an IAR. This is something I have not heard of, don't know too much about. From what you told me, infrastructure testing. But what can you tell me about the preparation that's gone into it?
Well, each year, students here are assessed in reading, math, and science. And so we take that test on our Chromebooks here at school. And to make sure that our infrastructure, our network, can handle the amount of data going through this testing application, we make sure our infrastructure is ready to go. So this morning I was at the elementary building, and Mr. Paul Donahue, he's our curriculum director, he was in the elementary building helping teachers test out the infrastructure, making sure all the students can log in to the testing application at the same time and go through a few practice questions just to make sure there are not any hiccups along the way. We think it's best to be proactive before we go into a testing session.
And being proactive rather than reactive, probably a nice way to be. So with that infrastructure testing, mainly network capabilities and just the computers that are being used, or does it extend any further than that?
Well, we just want to make sure that our teachers and students are comfortable when it comes to taking that test, taking that one stress off their plate as far as if the network can handle the testing and the kids can do that successfully. So we're just looking at that to make sure it's working properly. Our teachers and students have been preparing for these assessments all year long, the lessons that they do every day. So we just want to make sure that our testing goes as smooth as possible. Get our results from these tests later on in the year, and we're able to see, what strengths our students are showing in the areas of math, ELA, and science, but also some areas of improvement. So we just want to make sure our students are able to do their very best on these tests. And we will start those here in the first week of April. Our junior high students will test first. Then the following week, our elementary students will then test. And that's grades 3 through 8 for this assessment. And then following that, our high school kids will take the ACT as well. So we're preparing for that test at the high school.
And if I remember correctly, last year was a pretty good year for you in terms of standardized testing.
Yes, that's a correct. Our leadership here in our buildings and to our teaching staff, our students as well. Our junior high building performed. They had an exemplary designation last year from the state of Illinois, which is the highest you could. And our high school and elementary buildings were both commendable, which is still a fantastic rating. So very proud of that from our teachers and our students.
And so coming up this year, we've got different weeks for different groups of students, but those tests coming up and all that preparation having taken place, whether in the classroom or even with network infrastructure, it'll be getting put to the test here very, very soon as of the first week of April. So that is the prep that you've done to get ready for all these standardized tests that will be coming up at the end of this school year. But we also got the preparation and the process of hosting the 3A volleyball tournament for the 8th grade class out of the way, taken care of. And I'd love to talk a little bit about it because it sounded like it went really well from your end and on the end of others that attended.
Yes, we're very excited to host this state volleyball tournament. We received very high compliments, on our facilities and the organization of the event. Such a credit to our staff again for the work they put into hosting this tournament over the weekend. We are presently working with bringing in a new athletic director. He will start here on July 1. So kind of getting him into the swing of working through this tournament in that position, testing out some new software that we were putting in place, and we were able to even live stream the games out in our hallways on TV, so parents could watch it out there in the hall or while they're getting concessions. Just make it more of just a welcoming event for our visiting teams.
Well, that's awesome too. And when you think about it in terms of maybe getting some of that set up for regular sporting events that you have going on, not just hosting the state volleyball tournament, you think about that and you think about some of the opportunities that might come from being able to put on something like that and maybe able to expand on kind of those everyday games, we'll call them, as well. So I'm excited to maybe hear a little bit more from you about that. If I remember the last time we talked, you said, I'm still kind of getting into the swing of learning a little bit about, getting ready for the spring season and some of the requirements on the side of the athletic director, but I did not know a new athletic director is coming in. Could you tell me a little bit about him, maybe some of the experience that he has and what he's going to be bringing to the school district?
So Greg Cawthor, one of our high school science teachers. He's also our head girls volleyball coach. He's been in the district for several years now. I couldn't tell you exactly how many, but I worked with him. I was still here in Pana years ago as well. And he's done a phenomenal job, not only as a science teacher in the classroom, but also as a volleyball coach.
Mm-hmm.
He has a lot of experience in athletics, and he's really looking forward to taking over this position as well. I think he has got a lot of great ideas, and he's got a great vision for Pana sports. So just looking forward to seeing what he can bring to our athletic programs this next year.
I am too, especially after a very successful hosting of the state volleyball tournament at the 3A level. I think, with the new facilities, with the new infrastructure that's behind it, I think there's some really good opportunities there. So I'm excited to see what Greg apparently might have in the works as well on his end and what maybe he is thinking. But it sounds like we brought from in-house, and I think some of that familiarity will probably help kind of lead into the position and make it a smooth transition as well. Another thing that we wanted to talk about was a First Responders Day. We'll call it that, at least for the moment now, before you can fill me in here. But we had first responders welcoming students into the school. How did that go from your vantage point, and what was the kind of success that you can report this way?
Well, I do want to start with, because I forgot to mention, the week before, the junior high students hosted our first responders for a heroes breakfast, and it was over at the high in the cafeteria, and they had about 18 people in attendance that morning. It was wonderful to see the support from the community come in there, and our junior high students serving breakfast to those the people who serve us, in the community as well. So then last week, our Capturing Kids Hearts group from the high school teamed up elementary school and the first responders to do a first high fives for heroes.
Okay.
So the first responders were actually out there on, the concrete and in the lobby, welcoming our elementary students into the building. And it was just so fun to see the kids excited to come in the building and high fiving, the police officers, firemen, EMTs, whoever could be out there to just get our kids excited for coming to school in the morning.
I'm really happy to hear that the Heroes Breakfast went well too. I believe we talked to Lisa Mayhall about that as well, and she kind of filled me in on serving what I believe was cinnamon rolls and orange juice, milk, and coffee, and I can't remember the one other piece that they were serving as well.
Oh, I can tell you, it's a chicken biscuit sandwich.
That's
and
right.
It's pretty famous around here, pretty popular. On Thursday mornings, they serve that for breakfast at the junior high, and it's all around here. So you'll have to have one.
I will. I mean, a chicken biscuit and the breakfast sandwich type of deal. I thought, hey, that's kind of a unique deal. A lot of folks will do the biscuits and gravy, of course, a staple, fantastic, pancakes, the sausage, but kind of switched it up a little bit with the cinnamon rolls and the chicken biscuits served. And I'm really glad to hear that 18 plus first responders even came and participated in the breakfast. And what a great deal that was. We also got to talk to some students that were involved with that as well. And that kind of coincides with the Capturing Kids Hearts program a little bit as well. Could you fill listeners in on what that is and, how those two groups kind of got together to make that deal happen?
Well, the Capturing Kids Hearts group, they do a lot of just community outreach. They go to like the nursing homes, they visit and bring them, holiday gifts and cards. They They go to elementary school quite a bit and work in classrooms with our students. They do some mentoring as well. They just do a lot of volunteer work in the district and in the community. Just very proud of what they do, and they're always thinking of ways to support what's going on. They're always looking for different ways to be out there and be visible and be supportive.
I think it's such an important piece to make students that much more well-rounded, and have an understanding of what community is, and volunteering and giving back. And I think it just kind of speaks to making, again, students that much more well-rounded and ready for their futures, and preparing for those things. So we are joined by Jessica Miller, Superintendent of the Pana School District. We talked a little bit about prepping for IAR and some of the standardized tests coming up, 3A volleyball tournament, and how the hosting of that just last weekend went, as well as First Responders Day. We'll call it the Heroes Breakfast and High Five for Heroes as well. We'll come back around. We'll talk a little bit about some auction items, maybe even some literacy plans and more when we come back around with your WTIM Pana Morning Show. You're listening to WTIM, your information station.
WTIM. This is Jeff Bremmett with People's Bank and Trust, where customers have one consumer banker who knows them and provides the right financial services to achieve their financial goals. Your consumer banker is your single source for life's financial needs, from checking to consumer loans, from retirement accounts to mortgage loans, and everything in between. Call me at 888-PBT-1954. Bank with People's Bank and Trust so you can spend your time living your life, not explaining it. At People's Bank and Trust, we put people first. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Dinner time just got easier with Pizza Pana. Enjoy great food that includes amazing pizza, tasty pasta, salad bar, and chili. On Monday nights, enjoy the spaghetti special with garlic bread and a side salad for $8. On Tuesday nights, come in for the lasagna special with garlic bread and a side salad for $9. On Wednesday nights, grab yourself an individual pizza and side salad for $9. Pizza Pana is proud to be serving Pana and the surrounding areas with great Italian food since 1985.
The shot clock is ticking.
The crowd is cheering.
This is your last chance.
One final shot
to score. A great deal from Jansen's Heating and Air.
What? Did you think we were talking about something else?
Well, this is your last shot at saving $1,867 when you replace your old, out-of-date, inefficient furnace and air conditioner with a new, fully warranted, highly discounted comfort system from Jansen's.
We'll drive the line
to your home
and install a brand new, factory-fresh system.
And if you don't save at least 20% on your energy bills, we'll double the difference of your bills for 2 years. Just ask Coach Troy for all the details.
Our bracket began with 80 systems, but it's quickly narrowing to one.
And when that last one's gone,
this dance is over.
Avoid the madness and save at least $1,867 on a complete system from Jansen's Heating and Air. Call 562-5201.
JansensHeating.com.
WTIM, your information station, will be traveling to the Shelbyville Police Station during March, broadcasting our morning show live. It's a way to say thank you to the courageous men and women that serve our local communities to keep us safe and protected. Whatever your emergency, they're always there for you and your families as they put their lives on the line each and every day. Be listening throughout March for these live broadcasts from the Shelbyville Police Station as our WTIM morning show goes on the road. Brought to you by these sponsors: Original Burger in Shelbyville, fresh ingredients and fast, friendly service at a price you can afford since 1952. We salute the police department in Shelbyville.
WTIM.
Back around with the WTIM Pana Morning Show here on your information station. It's brought to you by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, alongside Pizza Man, Noren's Hardware, your Pana Save-A-Lot, and Locked and Loaded Limited. I'm your host, Grayson Bauman, and our guest in this segment is Jessica Miller, Superintendent for Pana CUSD number 8. And we've been talking about preparing for IAR and 8th grade Class 3A state volleyball tournament that was just hosted last weekend, and some of the response to the First Responders Day that took place, and also the High Five for Heroes, Capturing Kids' Heart program, getting involved with the Heroes Breakfast as well. We want to turn the page over to planning for a literacy plan and what is in stake, or what is at stake for that. Jessica, where do you want to start with that?
Well, I mean, we both know, right? Literacy is so important in your life. No matter what you do, you need to be able to read and understand what you're reading, no matter what career you choose or whatever path. So we in our district know that we need to look for ways to enhance our literacy instruction, look at ways that we can improve what we do, but we're doing a lot of things right as well. So I think it's just a good opportunity to kind of step back and make some improvements. So we're working on getting a committee together to begin creating a literacy plan for our district that would be implemented within the next couple of years. The state of Illinois is asking us to focus on 3 key goals, which include, every student receives a high quality evidence-based literacy instruction. Every educator is prepared and supported to deliver that instruction, but also every leader is equipped to create and maintain and sustain conditions for high quality literacy instruction. So what we want to do is just make sure that we work on creating strategies and activities to meet those goals in our district and help our kids be better readers.
So we have got committee and plans for that with 3 key goals in mind, but it's on all 3 levels, whether it's the student, the educators themselves, and also at the admin level as well, and just kind of developing a well-rounded management plan there. So I appreciate you kind of filling me in there. It sounds like that'll be the plan moving forward for a couple of years then.
Yes, and it will continue to evolve, as we find new interventions and new ways of teaching our students, but very important that we take a close look at our literacy instruction in the district.
Sure. And let's move along, and with just a few minutes here to talk about these 2 items as well. Auction items that have been sold, Washington, and that auction already wrapping up, but Lincoln is just now gearing up and even is in the process of auctioning some of those items. Can you tell me a little bit about how to get involved with it if you're interested, and also just what type of items that we're looking at?
So Lincoln Elementary School is up online. Items for auction are online at Josh Bergner Realty. You can find his Facebook page. All of his items are listed there. You can participate in that online auction. It closes April 6th at 6:00 p.m.
Okay.
We're just moving forward with getting those buildings ready for demolition.
And if I remember right, I saw a scoreboard that was being auctioned from Washington as well. And so there's some interesting items to take a look at there. Josh Bergner Realty, you said?
Yes, that's correct.
Josh Bergner Realty, if you want to be involved in that auction, that'll be ending April 6th at 6 p.m. And this one, I definitely want to leave the floor to you and to be able to talk a little bit about. We've got a theater performance coming up as soon as this Friday.
Yes, they're performing for our students too during the school day on Thursday and Friday, but the public is invited to attend Dancing Through Life, a to Oz, which is our high school Panther showcase. It's Friday, March 28th at 6:30 p.m. in your high auditorium. There is admission at the door. It's $10 for ages 5 and up. Under 5, you're able to come in free. But this features our high school students. They're putting on a performance, but it's fun that our elementary kids and junior high kids get to see it too before they perform for the public.
So Dancing Through Life will get a student performance on Thursday and Friday, in addition to the public performance that'll take place on Friday as well.
That's correct. Yeah.
All right. So Dancing Through Life will be coming up here shortly in just about 30 seconds of time here. Anything else, Jessica, that we want to make sure that we talk about here today? Any links or anything like that?
No, just want to follow up to our testing that we're prepping for in the district, just how important it is for students to come to school every day and just give it their best, get some rest at night so they're ready to go. And so they can do their very best every day. Just want to put that out there. So, in the coming weeks, just make sure we're coming to school and we're ready to go and ready to learn and just do our very best. And
we want to make sure that we get even commendable or hopefully even exemplary grades when that school report card comes around. Well, we've been talking with Jessica Miller, Pana CUSD number 8 superintendent, about all things going on with the Pana School District. Thank you so much to Jessica for joining us here on the WTIM Pana Morning Show.
WTIM WTIM.
This is Grayson Bauman reporting. Illinois politicians have been busy the past few days, bogged down by a heavy...
In Washington, Democrats are outraged. Senate Republicans none too pleased about